Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing today? Hope you all are well, and today we have a Battlegrounds tournament match. So this is the fourth round in this tournament and I am going up against the Steeler. Fun fact is that Steeler is an ex-alliance mate of mine. We used to play together in New Nation in before he left for JA, and it will obviously be a matter of principle here to try and do our best to spank him a little bit, knock him out of this tournament and advance further. So this is round 4, so obviously at this point it is clear that there are only extremely capable players remaining in this tournament, and every fight is going to be hard fought match. So let's get to it. So here my bans were Tigra, Hercules and Ghost. I will swap them up a little bit later on, but for now this round we are going with that. And once again, I actually do need to change up my screen a bit. Here we go, perfect, this is better. So he chose to ban my Juggernaut, Hulkling and Human Torch, which I do not mind at all. I did win the coin toss, so he had to select the champion first. He goes with Hercules, which is, you know, perfectly fine. I am immediately packing a Nimrod because Nimrod is an absolute menace in this meta. And then I'm kind of thinking of who should I pick as my second option here. I kind of go back and forth and I select Mephisto, largely because I know for a fact that Human Torch is banned. And even if you use something like Scorpion against Mephisto, you know, it's still not necessarily the fastest fight at all times. So he goes ahead and selects Penny Parker and a Scorpion, so that is very interesting. I'm going to go with my Mr. Fantastic and Kingpin to retaliate. Kingpin obviously also to be aware of that Scorpion that I will not likely face, but he is just a great champion to have. He picks an Ebony Maw there, so I am, and Dr. Doom as well. So then I pick up an Archangel and a Gallon, and I do want to warn you guys in advance that there will be some extremely scruffy gameplay that is going to piss me off in the end, that the more than you can imagine. But now he has his last 2 draft picks remaining there, and it will be interesting to see who he goes with. If I recall correctly, one of them is definitely going to be a Sasquatch and a Kingpin. So I think it is going to be a Sasquatch there as well. Yes, so he chooses those as his last 2. And my final pick is a choice in between Nick Fury, Bishop, and Rintra. And I am going to pick a Rintra because on Rich Get Richer, Rintra can be a bit of an annoying champ as well. And we're going to go into the round 1 now for the following rounds, because this is best out of 7, which is something that I had forgotten about. So I thought it finished when we reached the conclusion of best out of 5, but nope, we had to play further, which is a fair game. So here my fight is going to be Ebony Maw. So I'm going to drop my Rintra. I know that he's going to go Scorpion, but most of the Scorpion fights that I have seen against Rintra, especially in this meta, still typically do last quite a while. So I was quite confident that I can outspeed Scorpion here with my Mr. Fantastic. This is, yet again, just a reminder, the Rich Get Richer meta. And there is a neat trick that you can use against Ebony Maw for Rich Get Richer meta, and that is to take benefit from the Fury that he places from the level 1 on you to equalize the buff count basically, or start winning the buff race, and then push him into level 2, obviously not to let him nullify that Fury. So we're going to see that in action here in this match as well. I do get a successful reparry in, so now I basically just want to rush to my level 2 as quickly as possible. Obviously our Petrify is still somewhat mitigating that Rich Get Richer power gain. I do need to keep an eye on my debuffs because it's not always the easiest thing in the world to knock down Ebony Maw here, and the plan here is definitely going to be to try and get to my level 2 in time. And now we have basically taken care of Rich Get Richer power gain. We also are reversing the regeneration at a fairly substantial rate. And I do not have that Fury active on me anymore, but he does drop his level 2. Now here, the unfortunate bit is that had Mr. Fantastic's auto evade worked slightly better, you know, I could have avoided taking that damage, but I had to block it because I did not want to trigger Dex and, you know, start working with Mystic Dispersion, or then, you know, probably I should have tried to evade, but I just felt safer not to. And we are doing very well that Ebony Maw is going down. Obviously, you know, Ebony Maw does not have the biggest health pool, but nor is Mr. Fantastic the fastest option. We have 47 seconds remaining there, and here he did finish 4 seconds faster with slightly higher health. And I did not expect him to do that fight in 62 seconds, but it just proves how busted Scorpion is. In my head, I thought I will be the faster player here, but he must have had a really good fight there, and he does take the W there. And this did kind of annoy me. I still love my Mr. Fantastic. I still think I played it, you know, fairly well. There wasn't any major issue in that fight, but Steeler just seemingly had like the perfect fight there. And now that I have gotten rid of his Scorpion, which was pretty much the plan, there is no excellent option for that Mephisto fight. There just isn't. Now, he can obviously use Hercules or Kingpin, but they can do the fight, but it's far from ideal. And speaking of ideal, we have Galen going up against a Penny Parker. Now, I will make a slight mistake in this fight that you guys can see, but it is going to end up just like any other Penny Parker fight that you would expect. So the point is, you obviously do want to just hit Penny Parker's block here to start building up your buffs. And here I should not have dropped my heavy attack quite as quickly here, because you can see that now with her throwing that level 1, lose a bit of time. I couldn't get another opening there in time. I should have hit that block a few more times because she ends up surviving with 4% health. So then I finish knocking down her shield, enter another Harvest, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just hit her a few more times because she was at like 2%. Still, slight miscalculation. I thought I will have enough damage there. I didn't quite reach there, but it still was 35-second fight, and there is no way under the sun that he can do that fight faster with more health. So now I'm plotting. I'm thinking of my final options here, because it can go quite dicey, but luckily he has to place first. Obviously he does have virtually every single one of those champions would be fairly viable defender, and it is going to come down probably as a race. In my head right now I would be predicting him throwing down Sasquatch or Dr. Doom as a defender, keeping Hercules as his attacker, and then I would likely want to Archangel whatever he drops down and drop Nimrod as a defender. So we're gonna quickly fast forward the remaining of this, and that's pretty much exactly what ends up happening. I drop Nimrod as my defender, he goes Hercules, and I have Archangel against Dr. Doom. So this is down to RNGs here. Obviously Dr. Doom is definitely an Archangelable opponent, but we're going to see that I'm going to start making some scruffy mistakes in this match. And that did really kind of piss me off, because we were scheduled to fight quite a few times, and unfortunately I have been like extremely busy and always in a rush, and I did have to squeeze this match also in a relatively inopportune time yesterday after my streams quite late. So it's definitely not on like my best play. I do have like great RNG here at the start, which I'm quite happy about. And now I'm dexing that level 2, and I don't dex it fully, which, you know, it's fine. We're at 80% health. As long as we finish out strong, we should be fine still here, because we definitely can take him on speed. Unfortunately, my RNG here is not necessarily the best. He is at 20%, but he only has 1 neuro, and there I miss a parry, and I also eat a level 1. So I'm down from 80% to 67%. I do drop a heavy attack, and again, just the 1 neuro there. We did finish the fight quickly, but now I'm sitting there and I'm biting my nails, because this is a beatable score. I have done this fight better. I should have done this fight better, and he can potentially beat me with this score, for sure. However, obviously, Nimrod can be a really big pain in the ass in this meta in particular. The thing that I'm worried about is the health pool, because obviously, when you fight against Nimrod, you use special attacks, you get debuffs placed on you that do trigger your willpower healing, and you quite frequently can finish that fight if you do have a good enough counter, which Hercules certainly is, with full health. Luckily, that didn't happen, so we take the W here with solid 8k point lead, and I win round number 1, and we are moving on round number 2. This time I will have to draft first, and I also do adjust my ban strategy. I do decide that Ghost is not that dangerous or scary, and I'd much rather ban Longshot, because Longshot is extremely scary in this meta on defense and offense, and he still keeps his bans. And here I'm drafting my fresh babyface rank 4 Nova, which could have saved me if I was, well, I'm gonna get to it. This is going to be some of the worst gameplay that you will see me do in any tournament. This is not going to be great. So here I'm choosing my second round drafts. I'm going with Mr. Negative and also Nimrod. Nimrod obviously is an excellent domino repellent, which is pretty much the entire point. Now he has a Rintra and Archangel. And here we go, he selects Mephisto and Warlock, which is perfectly fine by me. Now I need to select my next options. So I go with Mephisto and Scorpion. He goes with Korg and Spider-Man 2099. CGR and Korg for me. He finishes Mordo. I drop my Korg, he drops his Mephisto. And now I do have a Scorpion for his Mephisto, which I'm perfectly happy with. I also take a look at his attackers, and he just does not have a great counter. So I know that I don't have to be ideal in this fight. He did not get a Mephisto counter. And, sorry, he did not get Korg counter. And I do have Scorpion, so just need to finish this fight well enough. And it doesn't have to be super fast, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I should have this match. In fact, looking at the draft, I was feeling extremely confident about this round, because in my head, you know, I had the very good counters to his champions, and he did not necessarily have as good of a counters to mine or as fast. So it's feeling quite cocky at this point in time in this round, which obviously is a bit of foreshadowing here. So here Scorp is doing his best. We are just doing like medium combos, and he's cooperating. Now I'm gonna go for my level 2, which I probably should not have done yet, but that level 2 still does, you know, a very solid amount. That's a burst down to 13. Now he's at 3%, and I'm just finishing it off. And this is about as good of a Mephisto fight as one would want. 100% health for me, 46 seconds. We got this. We got this. Now I have to place, sorry, he has to place, and he places a Rintra. Perfect. Now, Mr. Negative, I'm gonna place down my Mephisto, and I do know that Mephisto, he can take with Spider-Man 2099, but it's probably gonna take some time. I decide to drop my Nimrod, because I know for a fact that he will have to use that Mordo, and it's not going to be an easy fight with Rich Get Richer and my robot boy winning the exchange here. Only thing I have to do here is finish this fight healthy and well. Obviously he can surprise me, but I did this for a reason, because round 3 I can drop my Mephisto and I have virtually a guaranteed win. So I can win in this round or in the next one, and here's the big mistake, and I miss a parry there already, so that obviously is going to bite me in the ass. Now I will make some more silly mistakes like not triggering not exchanging my light energy there. And there again, I was trying to heavy, but that didn't work out. Now he goes for his level 1, and I'm in a very, very, very bad position. That was a solid await though, so that's like 1 saving grace there. And I do get my level 2 off with 14 degens. That's definitely not going to be enough to take him down. but at least I'm out of the corner. We're actually healing slightly from that single rupture, which, you know, I'll take. And I need to build up to basically another level 2, above 10 light and 10 light energy or more, level 2, and we should be good. But with all of the time I wasted, because this fight should have been over, and with all the health that I lost, I knew that there is a decent chance that he could take this round away from me. And that's exactly what it was. This round should have been mine for the taking, and I just screwed it up with missing parries and everything else. I do finish faster than he does, 66%, 75 seconds, and this is just an absolute proof. I should have finished this fight at 90%, as I normally would, and we would have been fine. And here he takes the win with 1000 points based on health. And I was really mad at myself here. I was cursing myself throughout this match, but I was still fine, because Mephisto, which is going to force him to use Spider-Man 2099. It's a good counter, but he will have to take some damage from that aura, and Spider-Man 2099 is not particularly fast. Defense department, he only has Korg, and both Nova and CGR are amazing at dealing at Korg, right? And this is going to be the most embarrassing fight I have had in Battlegrounds tournament, I think, ever. I have done this fight in well under a minute in a casual meta, let alone the Rich Get Richer meta. You can do this fight in Rich Get Richer meta in about 45 seconds with full health remaining. What's about to follow is a disgrace, and we're going to see that. There is going to be that moment where I just kind of get stuck in a loop, where I can't line up my level 2 as his rock field is down, and as a result, and here I don't even know why I didn't exit fully or didn't block it fully, but we had triggered our precision already. So here I drop my first level 2, you know, it's fine, the start is fine. Still winning the buff race here, getting that extra power gain, sweet. Drop my heavy attack to finish off the cycle. Now I just... And here was the mistake. What I should have done, instead of desperately trying to use my power, I should have just dropped level 3. That is what I should have done. But now, because I didn't, obviously the damage from that level 2 was, you know, pathetic, because it all got absorbed by rock charges, and he got more of them because he was shrugging off my armor breaks. Now I go for this, and his rock field comes back again. And I'm nearly at 3 bars of power, so I drop my level 2. I'm actually losing Rich Get Richer race, so I have to get that Dex in here very quick, and I'm 43 seconds remaining in this fight. This fight has been atrocious, and I just kind of phased out, kind of zoned out here. I was going through the motions on autopilot. I don't know why it happened, but it did, and here again another level 2 gets absorbed, and this is embarrassing fight. I had Steeler completely outdrafted for every single round in this match, and I should have won. And I had him outdrafted, in my opinion, as well for in the first match. The draft is largely what won this to me. But I lose, obviously. He did take damage. Mephisto did what he was meant to do. I didn't. I fucked this up. This fight should have been half the length, and I should have lost virtually no health. So here, at this point, I was very, 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 very upset with myself. But it's 1-1. Still plenty of way to go. Now we're going to get through the draft extremely quickly. Bans don't change. And now here are going to be the fights. So he drops a Mephisto for me to deal with. And I am planning on dropping Rintra for him to tackle, because I know that he will have to use Stark Enhanced Spider-Man for this fight or take a guaranteed loss. So I do feel that, you know, even with Stark Enhanced Spider-Man on the Rich Get Richer meta, this fight's going to take a while. And I did not have a perfect Mephisto counter either, but I knew that Guardian can do this fight extremely well if, you know, things work out. And I was quite happy to do this fight with Guardian. And what you guys are about to see from now till the end of this video is Steeler being the more skilled player, I would say, doing the fights better. But you also are going to see Steeler get completely outdrafted. He has been in reality outdrafted for the first 2 rounds already. I should have never lost the first round. But what is about to follow within all the remaining matches is gonna be a drafting perfection, about as good of a drafting situations as I have ever found myself to be in virtually any tournament against a competitive, powerful player. So here I'm basically just letting Rich Get Richer do the job. I do get quite lucky because he nearly kind of ran away from my level 2 there, but it did connect and everything worked out. And now again, I'm just kind of biding my time, waiting for my armor up to come back up, and with Rich Get Richer node, just basically, you know, powering up to level 2, which I did. And also, obviously, Aura wasn't doing as much damage because he has increased energy resistance when armor up is up. And I finished my fight in 66 seconds with 94% health. Faster than he did, with more health. Perfect. This was a sketchy, you know, situation, but I knew it's manageable. And now that I have gotten his Stark-enhanced Spider-Man out of the way, we got options now, all of a sudden, for more and more defensive placements. Now it is my turn to place defense, and I'm going to be dropping in Nimrod. Nimrod in this meta is an absolute menace of a defender, and I don't particularly need him on attack for anything. Now I do know that he can use several champions for defense. Last moment I switch it to Bishop because I realized that Nimrod is going to guarantee me around 3. But I needed to get away from that Korg, because I could have tried to use Bishop against his Korg, obviously, but it's still not necessarily the quickest fight here. It's doable, but the plan was, obviously, Bishop can be quite annoying here. And I knew one more thing. The reason why Nova is rank 4 today is pretty much because he was MVP in my previous round against RNG Jesus in the same tournament. And then it carried on as a joke in my streams. Somebody obviously dared me to do it, and I ended up taking my Nova to rank 4. That is why my Nova is rank 4 today. And the story is going to be kind of similar here today, because Nova is going to work very well. We can see that that Korg is at 76% health there, but my boy Nova is actively winning the buff battle. Now here I'm going to make an annoying mistake. Where I do drop my, well, I didn't line up my level 2 with the Rockfield charges perfectly, but we're still at 99%, obviously. Nova is amazing option for Korg. I am at 5 charges, perfect amount of Furies. This level 2 hits like a tank. Nova is down, sorry, Korg is down to 20%, and Nova is just doing what Nova does, and I still have the 5 Furies here, and the Korg is dead in 53 seconds. With 98% health remaining. And that is why you rank 4 and over. I'm just telling you guys. Right. It's important to note that if I would not have won this match, I would have likely won the next one. Here I'm not checking what I will place and stuff like that. But I did have the draft advantage for the final match as well. Especially with the Korg gun. Because with Gun especially, I don't believe there was anything that could have taken Nimrod, you know, well enough or better than Archangel could take Rintro or whatever he had remaining. So I was very happy, even if this match didn't work out, which is why I played it out the way I did it. So now I'm winning 2-1, and we're going to be going off to the next match. And I have to draft first this time around. I know, again, my torch is banned, so I'm just gonna quickly grab that Mephisto. I know that most people would immediately grab that Domino, but I do not think that grabbing Domino in this meta in particular in round 1 is necessarily a great play. And now he has grabbed Korg and Dr. Doom, which both obviously are champions that I do need to acknowledge as problems, but I refuse to select subpar solutions to them over advancing my own game plan in this case. So I grabbed Nimrod because I know that Nimrod again protects me from Domino and is amazing defender in this meta. And then I grab Rintra, which is likewise. Rintra is amazing attacker and defender in this meta. And now I can start looking at counters to whatever I need to deal with. So here, first thing, I'm going to be selecting Mr. Negative, because obviously Mr. Negative can deal with Sasquatch and with Dr. Doom, should I happen to need that. And now I do need to pick my second champion. I'm going to go with Thing, because again, I did not see Valkyrie in his deck, and I think aside from Valkyrie, in this Rich Get Richer meta, there aren't that many great champions against Thing, or at the very least that I saw in his deck. Now he's going for that Archangel, which is an absolute joy to my eyes, because I have readied and set up my defense so it can potentially, you know, always be bleed immune when I need to place on defense. Now I do select Bishop as an option for that Korg, and I do need to pick my last champion here. Virtually all of the champions are viable, but I am going to go with Valkyrie here, seemingly. I do not remember if I changed my mind last minute. It could have happened. But no, I lock in my Valkyrie, which is fair enough. Now he has a selection of the last picks. He picks Warlock, which again is likely for my Bishop, but obviously I did not draft Bishop to be placed on defense in the first place. I drafted him because he has a Korg over there. Now I will place my Mephisto, knowing that this is more than... No, I'm going to say my Mephisto. First, I'm going to place my Thing, knowing that he has 0 great counters for a Thing. So I knew that if I place Thing, I do get a guaranteed round in. If I place Mephisto, it would bait out that Ghost, more than likely, and that could potentially be slightly closer match here. So I basically went ahead and, yeah, got that Mephisto in there. And now we do have Bishop against Korg. He chooses Warlock. Obviously, that's a terrible matchup. Then he changes last minute to Immortal Abomination, which is better. But I'm also quite glad that Immortal Abomination's gone, so I don't need to keep any poison immunity in mind for the future matches. So I'm quite happy that he changed his mind there. And now against Korg, again, I have drafted extremely well, and that is the reason why we are going to be doing as well as we are here. But yesterday and this morning I just wasn't doing too well in the game itself, and we're going to see me make some silly mistakes here again. Here the plan is to use that Rich Get Richer node to get some more power gain, and then just before I reach my level 3. And here I got stuck in a stupid situation where I kept triggering his Unstoppable. It's fine though, because now I have 37 prowesses. I should have dropped one more hit to do more damage with my special attack, but it is what it is. And now I just need to quickly build myself up to another special. So this definitely is not a perfect Korg fight by any means. I did yet again make a stupid mistake, which in the hindsight should not cost me too much, because I'm sure that my Thing is gonna do enough. And here is the disconnect. Here is a perfect disconnect that Kabam themselves try to keep me from winning this. So after the disconnect, I enter the main game and I have 35 seconds remaining, and all of a sudden, if I don't win this match, and I might as well not, because 30 seconds remaining, I'm in a much worse position off in this round, because I was counting on this guaranteed win to drop a round if need be, basically. But here I do get very quickly to my level 2. That level 2 does plenty of damage here, so I'm just going to go in and try and do as much damage as I can. And I got that Korg down to 38% with that one level 2. And let's see. So is that enough? That is enough, because Thing did the job just fine. So I did get lucky here. That Thing did not get killed, because obviously otherwise I would have lost a stupid round. I did message Steeler explaining the situation, that it wasn't like any shenanigans or anything like that. I just got kabammed. And now we need to move on to the next round. So here again, we do have Sasquatch, and we're placing Mephisto. So here, I know that by dropping Mephisto on defense, he would use his Ghost. However, if I drop my Nimrod on defense, then he has to go Dr. Doom. But on Rich Get Richer meta, again, Dr. Doom is not going to be that great against Nimrod. Nimrod is a very, very good defender here. And I do know for a fact that I can 100% absolutely do this fight better and faster than Doom can. I just need not to screw up this. I need to do better. And again, this is going to be a messy fight. So, you know, it's going to start out just fine. Obviously, you know, you get your level 2, you get your degens, you do the damage. Ideally, you drop your level 2 at around the time he enters Wrath of Tenrak, so none of the damage is mitigated. And, you know, we're golden. Not much to worry. So here, neutralizing that. And again, I miss another parry. And I eat a combo. This is how many parries I have missed? It's just a ton. And, you know, I swear that there was a time in my life when I used to be able to parry. I promise. So here I just go for my level 2 out of pure desperation to get out of that corner. And he enters Wrath of Thanurak. So I quickly drop my evade, convert my charges here. Here again I go for another 10 dark energy. Gonna go for the level 2 with 11 degens, which should hopefully, you know, get in enough work done here. I do select my striker, finish off the fight. 66 seconds, and this fight, you know, 66 seconds 5 times, fine. But the health loss is unacceptable. I knew that, you know, Doom can do this fight, and he's gonna take longer. But, you know, just because I get hit in the face too much, screwed it up. Could have won it. Could have finished this fight with 90+% health quicker. And get the W. But fair enough. However, at this point, since I did get rid of that Dr. Doom, and now we have Mephisto here, and he will have to go with Ghost, because obviously Archangel can't do this fight. So again, Ghost is solid option here, but not necessarily the best or the fastest. And I have Valkyrie, and I just need to not screw it up. But how do you think, guys, with the way I have been playing this tournament, do I screw it up or do I not screw it up? Well, the answer is yes and no. I definitely could do this fight better. I need to get in a dex here, which is perfect. And now I have equalized the buff situation. And now the only thing that I need to do is get past 10 combo. I will be winning Rich Get Richer battle. And we can start smacking down this little fool. So I just need him to cooperate, to leave his block exposed as often as possible. Perfect. And now here is one of the stupid things that I did. I should have held block and baited my time a bit, because that infection only would have lasted for like 8 seconds, and I can easily get through that. But I didn't, so that's 10% of my health gone there. And now at least I have thrown my first level 2. We're doing some more meaningful damage. And I need to get past the combo here. I do ideally obviously want to escape that infection. So here I invert my combo to start building my bulwark charges, mainly just so I have the third buff active once these infections activate. And then the infection is only going to last for 2 seconds, which is, you know, what you want. So now at this point, I'm not particularly afraid of it, but it was already too late. It still took us a while. I definitely could have done this fight faster, so I was quite worried when I was finishing up the fight. But my Mephisto is holding down the fort, and seeing that 75 seconds, the fight was not yet finished. At this point, again, I was quite confident that I got it. And at this point, I also thought that I have the tournament, because I thought this is going to be only best out of 5. So that's why the recording here splits. I'll take a screenshot. But it turns out it's best out of 7, which I quickly realized as soon as he sent me another invite. And I need to get another win So current score is 3-1 in my favor. If I win one match more, then I advance. And you know, this kind of did surprise me a bit in a sense. But, you know, fair enough. I was feeling confident at this point. I should have never lost that round 2. I played terribly in both of those games. You know, I screwed up so much that I lost the round that I should have won in 2. And then I screwed up even more in round 3. So I still feel pissed off about it. And now I'm recording this a day later. But drafting-wise, we're golden here. We have been drafting like, I don't know, like I'm a professional NBA drafter or something. And here we go. Now, I did pick Mr. Fantastic as one of my first champs because I did notice that he likes his bulky Mystic defenders quite a lot. And obviously, Mr. Fantastic can be an annoying defender. He goes for Thing and Silver Surfer, which obviously immediately incentivizes me of taking my Valkyrie here, because Valkyrie is absolutely amazing. Then I grab a little Wiccan, which is a little misdirect. No, but, you know, it's just one of those things that I hadn't had chance to get to too much, and I had a feeling it could be useful if need be, because obviously in Rich Get Richer meta, Wiccan is quite bonkers good, and you can use him against Silver Surfer, you can use him against Man-Thing as well in reality, and a handful of other great options. And now I'm going to go with Nimrod and Rintra. Obviously both are excellent offensively and defensively. Now he grabs Korg, which is something that I'm actually quite happy about again, because Wiccan is a very solid Korg option, but then he changes his mind and he goes for CGR and Penny, which is fine. I grab my Nova and I grab my Gallon. Now I'm thinking, if I grab Gallon, do I need a Nova? No, I don't, because I can use, well, Gallon for most of the stuff there. And instead of that, I'm gonna bring another defender, Thing. He does pick up an Archangel here, which is a fine pick, but at that point when he drafted it, I did not care too much, because I, by the looks of it, was planning to get this final match in 2 rounds, and I will have 2 champions to be placed that will not care about Archangel, because I was confident that in between my Thing and Nimrod, I can win this, because I do have the faster Thing counter, so even if he forced me in the mirror match. And now in the next round, there's absolutely nothing really that he can do to take down Nimrod fast enough, or should I say faster than I can take down anything that he is about to throw there. So, if I recall correctly. Or there is also a chance that I threw round 2 on purpose here. Don't remember. But either way, so we have a thing of who is going to kill that Thing first. He goes with Silver Surfer, and I do go with Valkyrie. Obviously in Rich Get Richer meta, Valkyrie is kind of crazy. And I will make a mistake in this fight, not a big one. I will accidentally hit directly into him, which will make him go unstoppable. But, you know, it's Valkyrie, so she doesn't care. So you can see that I do make a mistake here. When I run in, he goes unstoppable, but obviously it doesn't matter. And the only thing that happens that's annoying is that he does trigger his protection there, so I did have to kind of like wait it out before I drop my level 2. First level 2, not too much damage, but it does, you know, give me that fury and increase my damage consequently and increase my combo meter. I'm about to get my 3rd pierce buff, and now this level 2 already does a ton of damage. Is at 33% there. So long as I can get in a nice opening, you know, we're going to be able to finish this out pretty much immediately. And here again, I accidentally do hit him, and unfortunately the fury has pretty much worn out, but meanwhile I got a new level 2, and this fight's over in about a minute, and he isn't doing it better. 100% health, 58 seconds. We're good. And now I'm quite sure that we got this. I am quite sure. The only thing that would potentially annoy me here and could get me is obviously that Man-Thing, which is the only champion that does have, you know, a chance of stopping me, in which, because I would have to risk either going with Wiccan or going with Mr. Fantastic and be a bit slower. And then there is a chance that Man-Thing can hold me longer than Nimrod would hold that Dr. Doom. But we are going to see how this is about to play out. So Dr. Doom is the champion that I'm worried about most, because I'm obviously going to place Nimrod on the defense, you know, bypassing all the Archangel and CGR bullshit. So I'm worried about Dr. Doom. And if that happens, you know, then it's going to be a race. And then there's Man-Thing, you know, who I'm worried about defensively, because Man-Thing is the only champion that can delay me for more than 60 seconds, I would say. But he changed it to Dr. Doom. I was planning on throwing this round, but since I did see that Dr. Doom there placed, I immediately dropped my Nimrod. I know that he doesn't have a great counter there. He will have to select in between CGR or Penny. CGR can do Nimrod well enough. Now I just need to do something about that Dr. Doom. And we're going to go with Gallon, because Gallon in Rich Get Richer meta is bonkers. And there is also a very good, safe, practical way, especially in this meta, how to do Dr. Doom quickly enough with Gallon, and most importantly, safely. Because Gallon is obviously safe because he's nullify immune, and his buffs that he normally gains are, you know, not temporary, they're permanent. They don't expire. The problem is your level 1 and level 2 buffs expire, and when you have 4 buffs or 8 buffs expiring at the same time, then it poses a bit of a problem. So the solution to that is, well, quite frankly, just drop that level 3 and then use your level 1 only, or level 2 only when you're ready to finish up the fight. So that's exactly what we do here. I'm just building up some charges. We're going to bait out this level 1. Sweet. I'm dropping my level 3 here. So yes, you know, the animation does take a bit of time, but also that level 3 is going to give us plenty of extra planetary mass. And this way I do not have to worry about any of my buffs expiring. So it does trigger Harvest. I'm at 520, 550, 560. He is exiting his aura of Hazard as well, so that I unnecessarily threw a heavy attack, but I do go for my level 2, and that does take him down to 2%, and he immediately ticks down. So 61 seconds, 98% health remaining, and you cannot do Nimrod with CGR better than that, in my opinion, and that is a W here. Now again, I wasn't too fussed about that Archangel when he drafted, because, you know, I knew that I can take 2 rounds with Nimrod and with Thing. The one thing that I did have to be careful of was the Man-Thing. And since he didn't place Man-Thing in round 2, it opened it up for me to kind of like finish this up super easily. So yeah, that is it. So the finish result is, well, here he did time out as well. Nimrod didn't completely die. And that is the match. Well played to Steeler. Obviously, he did, in my opinion, you know, arguably play better than I did. I definitely did make quite a lot of silly mistakes. But I did draft very well. And that definitely helped me out here. So 4-1, and this is round 4. And I don't even know how many rounds remaining in this one, but I'm sure you guys are going to see soon enough. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'm going to catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the